All right, welcome back to the Gfinity Elite Series presented by Alienware. Having a look at the players right now, getting in the zone, getting ready to go for CSGO, which is brought to you by Dare Ice Coffee and Logitech Gaming Peripherals, by the way. Melbourne Derby, about to get into it. Avant Gaming taking on the Melbourne Order. Sean, final thoughts heading into this. Are you backing your call?
Yeah, no, definitely backing my call. Avant here. 16,
an old cheeky yeah, nah at the top
yeah,
there.
nah, yeah. Kick it off with a yeah, nah. Got to do that. Interesting point I actually didn't make just before, which I will bring up, is 3 of the members of Melbourne Order's team used to be in the Avant roster, were the previous Avant roster. So
mutiny.
There's a bit of extra storyline going on there, and they're going to want to really pop off just to show that, hey, you know, we're the better team sort of thing. So makes it even more interesting. So yeah, I still think Avant though. I'm going to go 16-12.
16-12 to Avant. All right, let's head over to Jim and Mac. How you doing, casters? Take it away.
We're doing fantastic. Thank you very much, Luke. Now, I chose the jalapeno poppers on the menu last night thinking that tonight wouldn't have enough spice, but I was wrong.
You were wrong. There was that last game. I loved it. It was great. Ground zero. You know, it's always greater when you pick the winner.
That's right.
It is.
We've got a Melbourne Derby, though. Last weekend, we had the Sydney Derby. This weekend, we've got the Melbourne Derby, as well as, obviously, the State of Origin that was coming up next.
Yep.
But right now, Melbourne Order, Melbourne Avant, the vetoes have gone out. It's actually come out to Inferno. Are you surprised to see? We saw Melbourne Order play this last week.
You know, they're going to be warmed up on it. I am the only one that has predicted Order to take this. You know, I had to do it for Jake. The man out there probably watching the broadcast right now. But, you know, Raz, he was a key player last week.
Yeah, look,
in the second half.
Yeah, well, he was quite dormant in the first half, but once he got going, he got some early frags in the second half, which really saw his confidence peak, and he's a confidence-based player. So if you ever have watched Raz over the course of any series, if he doesn't get himself into the game early or he gets shut down quickly, he never really finds those I guess, scintillating peaks that we've known him for. As we said, like his performances in certain games in the past has really been a talking point. And for him to come into his own in the second half of that match was really key for Order getting back into the swing of things. But I mean, you look on the Avant side, they've got some key players there as well. Obviously, as we talk about Moe all the time, but I think some of the most underrated guys in that Avant lineup are you guys like Herbs, you know, who just goes about his business. He gets frags quite consistently.
Yep.
But also in that instance too, I mean, I'd like to highlight the role that Hazard plays. Now, he doesn't get a lot of the limelight, but what he does is he gets himself into key positions on the map and gets a lot of information for his team as well. So I'd really like to see how they utilise him on a map like Inferno. Now, it's a map that really lends itself to a lot of utility.
It really does. Also, we didn't see him hit as many shots as what we have in recent time. Last week, Moe was the man doing the most damage. And of course, we've got the fly-through now, so we are looking at mid, which is where, you know, the first picks generally come, except Banana, obviously.
Well, we saw Raz taking fights there earlier on last week, and he was getting shut down. So, I mean, keen to see if he takes that duel again. But Banana here, for me, this is more important than any other area on the map, because it provides both teams with so much control and information as well. And obviously a beautiful scenic there of the fountain. But the A-bomb site here is really where things break down. Now, in terms of pushing the CTs back into the bomb site, you can really limit the amount of information they can get. If you surrender a lot of map control early on in the piece on a map like Inferno, it makes it really hard on that CT side to shut things down. Now, you get pushed back into the bomb site if you just simply don't have the utility to try and contest those areas. So I'd be keen to see how they manage their economy, because on that CT side, both teams are really going to need to keep things in check, because utility, particularly in the Australian game, is so key.
It really is, and especially on that A site, you can definitely filter the routes that the terrorists do come onto the site. You can set up those crossfires, which, you know, are going to be aided by that utility once again. But even if you do get pushed into site, there is much cover that you can hide behind. There's plenty of places, plenty of cheeky corners, especially dark up on that box. You know, that's a recent addition in the new Inferno, but it is wallbangable.
It is, yeah. And I don't think a lot of people actually know that, but now they do. You've given the game away.
Yeah.
But there's the man that everybody's come to see. He's affectionately nicknamed Tooski. It's actually Towski. And he's got some supporters here in the crowd tonight, but he can't hear them. But they're still making noise regardless. Now, for me, this Order lineup, they've got a job to do. They've come in. You know, I guess in some instances, they've got a score to settle here. Some of them former members of the Melbourne Avant, and now sitting on the opposite side of the desk in Melbourne Order.
Yep.
And as we said, in the absence of that starting roster from Melbourne Order, they've got that job to do. So they've got to set the main team up with, I guess, an easier path once they actually do settle in. I believe they're coming in next week as well. So, I mean, for these guys, they can prove themselves here. They've got stiff opposition in Avant, as we said. These guys have been building outside of not just the Elite Series, but in terms of what they're doing in other leagues as well. These guys have been, I guess, in some instances, struggling to find form, and that may just be them adjusting to Moe's way of calling, Moe's system that the way he likes to play the game. But for them, it's also a learning curve as well. Playing on the stage, playing under lights, there's a lot of pressure to be felt as well. We've seen it from a lot of these players as well. They themselves admit this is a big stage in terms of pressure, and something that they haven't been used to in the past. I mean, for yourself, how do you deal with that? I mean, it's not just loud shirts and whatnot. It's a different environment for you here on the desk as well.
Oh, I definitely can't screw up. I've got to wipe those expletives from my mind completely, and just continue to talk a lot. I'm very bad at filling, if you haven't noticed, but luckily I've got you here to do that for me.
Thankfully, Pex isn't bad at filling.
No.
He's doing a good job at the moment, actually.
I also need to apologise. He is not an IGL. He has never IGL'd in his life, except maybe in pugs. But, going back to last week, I mistook him for someone else.
Look, that happens.
It happens.
I think I called you by another name earlier on. I don't remember what it was, but it wasn't your name.
Luke called me you.
That's what rehearsals are for, though, just to get those kinks out. But, I mean, in terms of the way that this map is going to play out, Inferno, it is really going to come down to the T-side. We saw the T-sides dominate last week. The T-sides were really strong from every team across the board, but the CT side is what really struggled, obviously, as a result. Now, on a map like Inferno, it has that slight CT bias, though the map itself is really balanced in a lot of instances as well. So a lot of it comes down to that individual round play and obviously how different teams take risks as well. A lot of it comes from information. We saw last week, Order, there was a few plays there where they rotated to the wrong bomb site based on some information that they didn't actually have.
Yep.
So maybe that's some nerves, some jumpiness there as well, jumping the gun a little bit. But they managed to recover, obviously, in terms of their T side. So, look, from your perspective, Mac, you watch these guys play a little bit. Who is your key player to watch?
This week, Hazza. I feel like he's going to fire up. I feel like he's going to come out of the gates blazing, tapping heads, doing what we didn't see him do last week.
Excellent. Well, we're going to hear from Luke and Sean as we cross back to them, guys. Take it away.
Thanks very much, Jim and Mac. I was just having a bit of a chat with you, Sean, and you said before that some players left Avant Gaming, but here's the juicy gossip. They didn't leave, they were dropped. Is that correct?
I believe so. I believe that is correct. So we've got 3 members of the Melbourne Order who were dropped from Avant.
Dropped?
Replaced, so to speak, by this
Fired,
new roster.
if we're being more brutal.
Fired, yes. Yeah.
So they got something to prove then, don't they?
Absolutely.
Today?
They're going to be just a little bit more hungry than they may normally be off the back of, hey guys, like you dropped us. We're out here, we're about to absolutely punish the team that you replaced us with.
Yeah.
That would be the mentality they have. Whether or not they can do it is another story.
Do you think that would create a bit more nerves in them and stuff? Would that, maybe they're not even thinking about that.
I don't think so. I think there's the guys we've got lining up here on both Order and Avant Gaming are pretty experienced. So with that in mind, it shouldn't play too much into their minds. They're going to get up there and do
But it's fun to say it does. It's good to
definitely
create drama.
Fun to say it is. But no, it's in the back of their minds for sure. They'll be sitting there going into this match. I mean, obviously, once it kicks off and they're in the game, they're not going to think about that too much. They're going to be playing the game. But going into it, they know. Like, they remember. So
it's fun to bear a grudge, isn't it?
Absolutely. So
I feel that way about Jim earlier with all his stuff about my bike tie business. Like, I'm out to get him the rest of the season.
Those bloody puns.
He's not listening to this, is he?
He's looking at you. He's giving you that stare. You need to be careful.
He is giving me that stare. It's a deep, juicy stare.
I'm scared.
But yeah, right. So, by the way, we are just covering, if you've just joined us, we've just got a few little tech issues getting sorted out before we see Avant Gaming take on the Melbourne Order. You're standing by your call, which is that it is
Avant 1612.
Yeah, Avant 1612.
Yes.
And who do you think the crucial player is for Avant who's going to bring that home?
I think it's definitely Moe. I said, leading from the front. He's got a very active calling style. So it's, he's got a very clear idea how he wants these rounds to play out. He'll rally his troops and put them in position. It's on them to make sure that they're buying into his system. And if they do, then they should be pretty strong. So
he's also got a sweet headphone style as well. We're looking at there.
Yeah, that
on the
is
outside
very
of the beanie. I mean, it is interesting. I suppose if it's a thin wool, that'd work. We can't talk to what type of wool that is. I'm just getting word in my ear now. It's actually a soft acrylic from a Bolivian lamb. So
really?
Yeah, it's a lamb from Bolivia that he's sourced personally by himself. So he knows the wool stitcher. Yeah, that's the technical term, wool stitcher. Why wouldn't it be? I didn't just make that up. It's definitely a wool stitcher. Fantastic beanie work from MoECQ there. But yeah, you really think that he's going to be the one coming out top? Because he's also, what we saw from him last week is he's definitely a bit of a rock for his team, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah. And he's quite an emotional player. He gets very, into these games, he gets caught up. Yeah, it gets very intense and things like that. As long as he can keep that reined in, like I said, keep the troops in line and they buy into his system. I think they'll come up good here. But yeah, Order's no pushover. They have a lot of experience there. They're able to win last week. They had a pretty poor start last week, but when they needed to put their foot down, they did. I'd expect them to sort of come out strong here, and I think it's going to be back and forth, but I think Avant's got what it takes to edge them out.
How much is it a psychological game as well? Because I mean, we saw in that first match, we saw I think it was the coach for Perth just losing his mind, going ballistic. And surely that must mess with the other team a bit, yeah?
Oh, absolutely.
Because he was yelling stuff at them directly, wasn't he?
Yeah, look, PDG is definitely known for being quite vocal, the old chair slapper. And he was more than happy to let the other team know with quite loudly that when he'd made a read. Yeah, so when the boys had made a read, which I think they did in the second half a couple of times, there were a couple of reads there that went really well with the early rotates that were able to stop that T aggression from Raw. As soon as that happened, he would let them know. And that does play in your head. You do start to, if that happens often enough, you start to second guess whether or not that your natural gameplay is being read. And if it is, you try to change it up, and in changing it up can create more problems than it solves.
Yeah.
So, and also sometimes encourages people to take more risks on their, if you feel like you're being read. And that, as you saw, high risk can often be high reward, but also can be quite costly if it doesn't go your way.
Yeah, of course. Ground Zero, if you didn't see that earlier, we went out on top very hard early on. So yeah, we're about to see Avant Gaming and Melbourne Order in just a sec taking off. We're looking out for MoECQ for top players, and we're looking out for some bitter revenge from some players.
Some of the Order guys, and look, like I said, this one's a hard one to call again. It can go either way. I am going to tip Avant based upon what I said. I think that their bouncing back from last week is going to be important for them. They are, consider themselves one of the top rosters here, and I consider them that as well. So they're going to want to get their first win on the board, and I think that's going to be at the expense of Order.
All right, well, we are just chatting a little bit more. We're going to be into the gaming very soon. If you're like, I'm sick of this guy with the weird hair having a chat. Me too, guys. Story of my life. But let's talk right now about what this moment is for CSGO in Australia, because this is a huge thing for the gaming community to have Gfinity here presenting this kind of stuff, and for these players as well, yeah, Sean?
Absolutely. I mean, this is incredibly exciting for all the players, for all the fans of Counter-Strike out there, for everyone who's into esports in Australia, So watching not just the Counter-Strike, but the Rocket League and the Street Fighter as well, done up the way it's been done by Gfinity with this amazing stage is incredibly exciting, and it reads towards the continued improvement of esports in Australia, and a trajectory which I'm incredibly excited that is happening, which is just more and more growth as things go by, and companies like Gfinity are playing a huge part of that. So
They are. And so there's a draft series as well, isn't there? Because that's how these players end up here.
Yeah, look, and that's also a great initiative coming out from Gfinity. If you're out there and you want to get involved and you want to play Counter-Strike, you go on. There's I believe it's called the Challenger series for Gfinity. You can get involved, you play the games, there's a scoreboard, and from that you can get drafted into one of these teams through the draft process. We do have quite a few drafted players playing today as well, so a great way for anyone and everyone to get involved with the.
I was so close, I was almost.
Just missed out.
Yeah, really just missed out.
It's unfortunate. Maybe we can work on some stuff.
I'd really appreciate that, man, because this is really a stepping stone for me being a host.
Yeah, the host the player.
That's what my game plan is. Yeah. I mean, I need to learn how to play properly and actually get some kills. But I think I'll get to kills eventually. There's no point rushing to kills. I've always said that.
No, absolutely.
It's not about kills, is it?
No, it's about winning.
Yeah.
You can win with Yeah. No, you need kills.
Okay, fair enough. But we are talking about a lot. I mean, this is the thing. I think the thing that sets a lot of these players apart from me, apart from everything, is it's so much hours of play, isn't it? Like thousands and thousands of hours, yeah.
Absolutely. There's players here that have many thousands of hours of play. You know, these games obviously evolve over time as well. There'll be updates and stuff like that. The core part of the game will stay the same. But to be a professional, you need to understand all the different elements that go into the game. You need to stay on top of updates, and you need to make sure you stay on top of your own personal habits as far as playing the game, whether it be aim practice, whether it be strategies, or how you throw your certain smokes or flashbang grenades and little references you have. So making sure you stay on top of those things, because when it comes down to it, when you're in a match, you know, if you're off by a couple of pixels with that smoke grenade, that could be the difference between winning a round and losing a round. And as you can see, in some of these matches that are very close, you can't afford any mistakes.
Definitely awesome stuff, Sean. All right, that's enough from us. Let's over to the casters. Jim and Mac, take it away.
Thank you very much, Luke. Look, I'm going to continue to rub your... rub? That's probably not the right term. But I'm going to continue to rib your attempted... Bear with me here. Someone appreciated the joke. Thank you.
What did you say a second? Did you say continue to...
Rub.
Cool, just checking.
Anyway,
no worries.
I'm going to continue to rib your bicycle jokes, because it is a cycle that we're going through.
Okay. Anyway, I'll go back to my desk. Anyway, Thought I'd come and say hi.
I'm tired of these jokes anyway.
Okay, see you later.
But look, these guys are going to get underway very, very shortly.
Yep.
Melbourne Derby. A lot on the line for these guys here. A lot more than just coffee on the line. Pride on the line. Right. Establishing themselves as the most, I guess, dominant team in Melbourne right now. Of course, this is the CSGO element, but there's no love lost between these two teams.
No, definitely not. Well, you know, last time we saw a derby here, it was the old Sydney Derby, and going back to that last week, it was quite, you know, one-sided. So, do you reckon we're going to see something like that again this week? Look,
I hope not. The map Inferno, as it is played currently, is one of the most balanced maps. So each team is going to have a real opportunity to get themselves a good start on the map. Now for the T side, as we said, a lot of that relies on banana control as well. I mean, not just talking about in terms of the shirts that you wear, but in terms of the way that they take control of that key area. Now, a lot of utility is spent from both these teams in holding banana. From a CT perspective, they managed to get themselves right down there. Obviously, they can control a lot of information. They filter them into that A-bomb site. From the T perspective, again, it just pushes everybody back into the bomb site, and they don't have a lot of information to work with here. So, I mean, it is very much an information-based game, which is why they wear those headphones on stage, which is why they obviously can't hear us. And it's not just the jokes that they're missing out on, but it's also those call-outs as well. So,
fortunately, or they would know literally everything that's going on and all the information they need to win the round. So, you know, anyway.
Now, Mac, who are you backing in this one? You made a prediction online.
Hashtag order up.
Hashtag order up.
Boys. The order boys, you know. We have a budget Liaz in the lineup right now.
A budget
So Liaz. Yeah, if you gave some glasses to Bartowski, I'm pretty sure he'd be a spitting image of Liaz.
A spitting image.
Spitting image. Budget.
That really takes the shine off him, doesn't it?
You know, like how people try to clone stuff and it sort of ends up looking a little bit different. That's Bart. little bit wrong.
Just gonna gloss over that one. But I mean, in terms of what he brings to the team as well. Now he's a player that came through the draft system, so in terms of opportunity for him, it's a real proving ground. And as we said, it's you know, that pathway to playing on stage, the Challenger Series, fantastic initiative in that regard. But this is the big show. This is the business. This is where it gets difficult for both teams. As we said, the Melbourne Derby is where it's at. These two teams, you know, they're battling for the namesake. They want to. This is an early chance for them too to win the hearts of Melbourne.
Melbourne, yes.
And it's poultry in motion. We're into the pistol round.
I thought we were making jokes. Anyway, all right, looks like we're going to see Dan's getting quite hyper-aggressive. Oh, wait a second, mid, pick it up for 3K. Can't quite get the fourth, but what a start to the game. Towski, Budget Liaz, getting that trade. Peck's going to find one more to Sonic in now. The draftee, but what can he make from this situation? No aggression coming down banana, so he is going to be given a bit of map control to play with, although it will be hard for him to bring this one back.
It is going to be super hard. That push in the second mid, it was a dance with the devil. And I can see you just throwing your notes away. Everything that you've written, completely gone. But as we said, Towski, a.k.a. 2Ski here, has his work cut out for him. And I mean, the B-side's playing really passive, but mid, they're making his day very, very rough. And he hasn't taken a lot of damage. He does have the bomb here, though. So I think they've made that call to just back off and play the bomb sites.
Oh, but look at this. Peck's going to be holding the cross. Can't hit the shot, though. Does give up his position. Moe quite low as well. One more bullet and he could be done. He does have the kit and no armor. This is quite a rough position. He's going for the knife! No! He couldn't do it. Went for the play. Knew he was quite low. But it did not work out for him. And we do see Avant taking the pistol round here on Inferno.
Yeah, look, that was risky from Tuski. And look at this.
Oh, the aggression. 3 bullets, 3 headshots. Couldn't connect the 4th.
That's efficiency. Oh. That's what it is. But, I mean, that lineup, that's fantastic. And that is exactly the start that Melbourne Avant wanted. As now they, as we said, come into the more difficult rounds of the game because these, as we said, particularly on CT side, it's that balance between having the right weaponry, but also having the utility to keep the Ts at bay as well. So they're really slowing things down here. Melbourne Auto taking control of second mid, just clearing out those apartments, making sure that if anybody gets too aggressive, perhaps a little bit too confident in the early stages, they get punished for it.
Yeah, well, we do see Towski solo working towards Carps at the moment. Dance is quite close, but he will fall off the balcony, and Towski has definitely heard that drop. So he's just going to hold for the moment, relay that information to his team. That one is in the pit right now. Moe going to be holding a... Well, not even a crossfire there, as Pex has given up dig control early. Just holding towards top mid. Here's the flash, falls off, doesn't go for that repeat, which can be dangerous. And Niquez here with the deagle. Working, looking for something. Order, they have made some noise, but they haven't drawn the rotate out yet from the B side.
Moe, just, he's aware. Oh, that possibility. That's a free haircut for him. And Pex finally silences Niquez. And from Melbourne's perspective, this is the battle. This is the two teams are really jostling for dominance at the moment, but this is anybody's round here as they do make their way back towards that B-bomb with the bomb, but they're still split off. They've still got that duel going on in Archway. Mizu goes down. This will spur B into action, but Raz finds the trade. There's still one to deal with in the bomb site, and he's playing it super passive here. Herbs with the cleanup. 15 HP. Didn't really matter in the end. They didn't get in. They didn't get the bomb plant, and this means another eco round coming out for Melbourne Order.
Yeah, and, you know, without that bomb plant, they are going to have a rough time. Niquez, oh, he's going to go for that deagle. I thought he may just save for the AWP going into the 4th round. But it is not the case. Raz going to upgrade to the P250 as well. So a bit of firepower here for Melbourne Order. Better than nothing, but nothing like Avant. A little bit of kit there. Anyway, Moe playing close with the CZ. Not going to waste that money as he does want to save for the AWP himself as well. Although, in apps, he will fall there. Glock going to be too strong for him. Mizu doing the honours.
A Glock should never win that duel.
No.
Never win that duel.
Although CZ at mid to long range, it has maybe a bit more firepower, but, you know, accuracy, the Glock may even be better.
That's true. That's, I mean, we could talk forever on that one, couldn't we, man? we might have to analyse that one. But right now, they're in equilibrium. They're just waiting out, obviously working their way up mid. Pex takes one down, and he's looking for a second here. But that crossfire at the top mid's good. Pex and Herbs combining well. Just keeping it clean. It's important that Avant do. And they do all survive, the remaining 4 players. So they didn't take any further losses there. It's important for the CT side economy that it continues to just build. And what that does is allows them to have utility to take control of the map. So,
which is important on Inferno.
Super important. I mean, I can't stress that enough. And obviously now we do see the full wide coming out from Melbourne Order. So I'm keen to see how they utilise their players in this particular instance, because we saw them last week. They were super strong on their T side, and I mean that's where the match for everybody was won and lost on that T side. So let's see if they can open things up here. Raz, key part of that as well. It's important that Avant don't give him opening opportunities.
Ooh, he's got the info. Hazza wants to go for the repeat. Playing with fire here. Will he go wide? He does, but he survives. Although Dance, on the other hand, going to be taken down by Mizu. The man who, you know, he did end up locking down a lot of kills last week, but he sprayed a lot and missed a lot of bullets. Like, the accuracy coming out of him was quite low.
Yeah, a few of those sprays just ended in misery. But that one from Raz didn't end in misery, as he does take down one. He's actually traded out quite nicely there and Trade's all over the map, and they're running to this A-bomb site where there's only one defender left, but, I mean, they're splitting the map right now in this instance. They have that 3 versus 2 advantage, and they're using it quite nicely to split things out and just take control, get some information, but they haven't cleared out Pex.
Yeah, Peck's in a very strong position here in apartments. On the balcony, will peek straight into Towski's crosshair, who was ready for that one. Now has a left in at the 1v3. He's already found a frag this round. Does have a kit and a little bit of utility to go for this retake, but Towski up in graveyard, good strong position. Should be able to play a crossfire, but we're going to see Sonic start to get aggressive towards Moto with absolutely no information there. Looking to make a play. Towski almost fell, but with that Molotov teaming up with his gun, we are going to see Melbourne Order picking up their first round.
Important round for them too, as they get themselves on the board, but it's a chance for them now to try and really break that CT side economy. Already we do see Pex on that UMP, so I mean the money is starting to run a little bit thin in the coffers. He prioritised utility over everything else. You can see Herbs doing the same as well. So this is a really important round for Avant, because this really means that they don't get off to that ideal start. You can lose one and then win that next round and get back into it, but if they lose 2 rounds in a row here, things start to become troublesome.
Yeah, we did see the early 3-man stack over towards the B site there, expecting a bit of a change of pace. But Order just playing it slow, waiting for the aggression to come out from Avant, and they do send that player back over to the A site.
2 updates already, just have you know. But back towards that A bomb site, you can see that there's no information coming through whatsoever. I'm always ready, don't you worry about that.
Install now, I dare you.
Well, I do like to live dangerously, and let's just see how dangerously they like to play things as they do move in here. Now, Herbs is in a key position, and the problem is he does have a CZ, or is it the solution? As Raz does take him down, just peeking too much there, can't shoot too much to Raz. As he was sharp last week, looks to open things up, and again, Sonic finds our entry into this B-bomb. So they've got control here. Moe, he's first on the scene, but there's not a lot he can do from that position. In fact, his 2 teammates are over at A, and they're not really interested in going for it at this point. They're just trying to clear out a potential lurk.
Yeah, and let's see how Moe goes here. He is going to stay aggressive, maybe looking to get a couple of more guns out of Order's hands. Towski's not going to check his corner there, and this could come back to bite Order in the bottom. Now he's slowly working this one around, so I'm jumping around with his gun out, but still manages to pick up the headshot anyway. Moe caught off guard there. It's really hard to shoot people when they're jumping around with their knife out in midair. I absolutely hate it personally, but Yeah,
that's super frustrating too, because Moe obviously let one run through to CT, and now they didn't check the connector quite well enough, but even then, Peck's caught completely off guard and aware to the fact that T can be positioned there, and it does actually get the frag in that instance, so they do lose all their weapons. They do lose all their weapons there, and that's really important from an Order perspective, because for them, it is a chance to, I guess, start to build some rounds for themselves as well and really start to put pressure on that CT economy. It's always that challenge now for the CTs, whether they buy into this next round, how they start to stockpile their money in subsequent rounds now that they've been reset and just put back to bare pistols. But dare pistols.
Dare pistols.
Yeah, I'm getting better at these.
The dare pistol round? Other than the bare pistol round, I like it.
I need time to drink it through, mate.
Now, anyway, we are going to see the early 3-man setup coming over towards the B site there. 2 towards CT as that boost does come out, but it looks like Pex is going to start to rotate back over to the A site. Melbourne Order taking that bomb up banana slowly, waiting and clearing those close range angles. They do have Molotovs and plentiful amount of utility to try to clear these ones and catch them off guard, looking away, dodging flashes, etc., using them as bait. Nice smoke coming out, but Hazza is up above it on the ledge there, near the garden bed. Towski actually found a frag onto Dance. It looks like Moe's looking to get aggressive with the USP. Timing could go in his favour here. Will he be able to take it down Towski? No, he's gone for the man with the full HP, and he is going to pay for that one by not end up picking up a frag. And that Molotov going to slow down the flank, and we are going to see Melbourne Order staying as one single unit, rotating all the way around through Moto onto the A site.
Yeah, they just pour onto that A bomb site like an angry mob. Pitchforks, torches, all the way through that arch. And they get themselves onto this A bomb site for free. There was no resistance there. Obviously, Moe looking for an opportunity to sneak a frag. There was a potential there. There's both Towski and Sonic are quite low. But, I mean, they're taking Jules quite comfortably at the moment. Order, they're getting themselves set into the match. And that's what you don't want to happen from an Avant perspective is let players like Raz start to warm up, let players like Nikes start to warm up as well, because those guys are quite explosive when they get going. So, I mean, this could be potentially danger signs, even though it's quite early on for an Avant perspective. It's important now that in these next round that, I mean, if they can sneak a gun away here, fantastic, but it's important that they get themselves back on the board here as Moe gets caught out, the eyes on the prize, but unfortunately it was not to be. And Melbourne Order take that third round, and it's back on equal pegging right now. So Melbourne Order need to continue, as I said, to build momentum, build those rounds, build their economy, because you can see on the CT side there, they're pouring everything into this round.
Yeah, and I guess we'll see if it pays off. You know, it hasn't so far since Melbourne Order have been able to buy weapons. But looks like we may see a bit of aggression towards apartments coming out here, and it could pay off. Avant only with 2 towards the A side. If we did see a fast push come out, Avant could pay for that one. Although, look at this banana control coming out from Avant. 2-man push all the way to the bottom, looking to hold a crossfire. Herbs playing up on the logs and waiting for any over-aggression to come out from Order.
Yeah, they've put 3 towards that bomb site early on, anticipating that there was going to be a contest there to be. But Dance looks for 1, can only find 1, in fact, and that FAMAS unfortunately means Pex goes down. Sonic sacrificing HB just to get onto the bomb site on time to get that bomb down, and now it's a 3 versus... Ooh, make that a 2 versus 4 retake. But look at the HP, it's so doable here. Hazard gets caught out, not expecting the second to peak, and now it's back to a 1 versus 3. It's entirely doable, but Herbs does not have a lot to work with.
Yeah, Towski doing a great job opening up the A site there. The 2K coming out of apartments. He got the frag up on balcony, then flicked around and took out the man near site. And that was, you know, beautifully played by Budget Liaz. Anyway, so Sonic here maybe walking into a trap. Herb's ready. Definitely has the HP advantage using that pylon as cover. Sonic's not even going to check behind him and walk straight into that one.
And he's just interested in saving his weapon here as they do secure that round. And Melbourne Order are on the up. Order up at the moment. And look, a key round there in terms of Order starting to turn the tide in their favour. But this is a nice 2-piece from Tuski, as he finds the first and the second as well. So entering onto that bomb site there, FAMAS, unfortunately, once you get drawn into a spray with a FAMAS, it's a great gun in terms of actually having the range over the SMGs. But if you get caught in a spray, you don't have a lot of success with that FAMAS because you run out of bullets more often than not before you even find your second target.
No one really does it, but you can use the burst mode on it.
It's awful.
It can be effective though.
It's gross.
It can stop you from spraying.
It's like 9 AM
essentially what it can really do. Although fast trade coming out from Sonic there, ready for Hazard to be facing in the middle of nowhere. No teammates to back him up. Herbs there, fighting over towards Coffins. Towski with the peak.
Super passive in second mid.
Yeah, Dance off guard. Was that a balcony? Like got aggressive there.
Yeah, a bit of theatre being brought to Counter-Strike. There's some drama on the balcony. And Avant just trying to sneak some weapons here. Do have Herbs, obviously saving out his loadout from last round. But, I mean, he's a world away right now towards that B bomb site. But it's very much split at the moment. I mean, if Herbs can take down 2 there at B, it's you know, he's done enough potentially to win the round here because they obviously have that number advantage. But in terms of the play, they're just waiting to make a call here. Melbourne Order need to group up. They did it really well on the other anti-ecos, and at the moment they're still very split, so they are going to make that call now to group things back up again. But they're taking their time doing so. They're very, very cautious. Look at Towski. He's going the long way. He's gone the scenic route.
All the way to T-stairs, up banana, getting ready, but running into what you'd call the stack. Moe with the P2 could have potentially caught Mizu off guard, but he has him now. Herbs with the M4 will find 1, but a fast trade comes out. Nick has perfect crosshair placement to hit the headshot there onto Herbs, and we are going to see this bomb planted successfully with not a lot of time left.
Yeah, unfortunately for Herbs there, Nickez ran right past his crosshair, and because, look, he's already run the wide angle, it's very difficult because he didn't move at all to even see the head. So unfortunately for him, he got drawn into a spray there and he was never going to win that battle because you can just simply get tapped through the box. But Melbourne Order, again, just putting some runs on the board here, runs in quick succession, and they're very much looking on the up. I mean, Pex, that's, I mean, I ship that. That's awesome.
Is he going to save this into the...
I hope he does.
Oh, no. But look, he's still choosing to use the CZ in this scenario.
Yep. I mean, I want to see this weapon used in the next round. I really do. I mean, there we go. There's the support for water.
What do you reckon the hold's going to come from?
the M1 button. Well, that's slightly disappointing to say the least. He's not having a bar of it. Even the observers are not having a bar of it. Okay, fair enough, guys. Carry on.
Unhappy.
All this negativity.
That was an M249.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just trying to play on words here. It doesn't work.
I'll play with you for that one.
Okay, I'm glad you're with me here on this wild ride, mate.
Anyway, Moe went for the early peak, but Melbourne Order taking a few seconds to swing into the crosshair. They're actually going to get all the way to the top of mid there. Moe still holding, but he gets tagged down to 3 HP before falling back over to Archers.
The fact that he still has that AWP, though, means he's still viable in the round. Just needs to be very, very cognizant of his position.
Cognizant.
I like to sound smart sometimes.
Yeah, okay. Good on you. Look at you, Mr. Formally trained and educated. Jesus. All right. I had to teach myself, Jim.
Formally or formerly?
I've never been to school.
I used to be educated.
Yeah, right. What was that, like 30 years ago?
Yeah, back when we wrote our strats out on slate.
Before computers were around, we played Counter-Strike in real life. Anyway.
I'll leave that to you.
Yeah, right. Regretting that one. Anyway, Molotov coming out on the other side of that smoke, making sure that Avant have fallen off and given up a bit of map control. Order, with 30 seconds remaining, can still go for the rotate, but Avant, they are not buying this one. They're having 2 men over towards the B site. Dan's with a nice peek to take down Nikez. Molotov coming out for apartment, so he doesn't have to worry about that angle for now. Sonic will find one onto Moe. The man with 3 HP has been taken down. Now Peck's going to be holding strong, finding one. Almost a second. Tagging Mizu down. And this bomb is going to be planted successfully. Dan still in pit. Melbourne Order are aware, so they're going to leave him there for now. Big flash coming out, but it's not going to hit Dan's.
Dan's needs to stay alive here. He makes this so awkward for Avant, or Order, should I say. There's Mizu there. The janitor in the corner takes the final 3, but that was super awkward. They made it work somehow. Melbourne Order, they were backed into the corner. They never had control of the pit. They had so many different angles to look at, and they still made it work somehow. Mizu obviously doing some good work there, performing a magic trick.
Who took down Moe in that round? It wasn't Mizu, was it?
Oh, look, memory fades me.
Well, if it was, that was the second ace of the tournament.
Well, I'll let the stats talk to that one.
Yeah, right, okay. We'll find out later.
Stats man.
Anyway.
It is stats man.
At least the 4K. We'll play it down, and if we're wrong, then we're wrong. But it is what it is. I'll own that one. Anyway, Herbs, getting close. Maybe about to peak the AWPer. Shot has been baited. Warbank coming out. Ooh. But there we are. Raz getting the collateral on to Dan's and Hazard, but Herbs going to pick up the 2K. The stack towards the B site. Definitely paying off him. Mizu holding for the push with the AK. Can't find a frag just yet. Is he going to get aggressive? Moe holding with the AWP. Oh, that nade is going to take him down. Perfect angle on that one. And Herbs is going to find himself in between some logs in a hard place, as with 17 HP and 2 frags, he looks for a third. But that smoke coming out, allowing the cross. Bit of a third-person action going on here, but Nikez is going to find Pex running around at the top of mid. Now it's looking good for Order. They just need to get this bomb over towards the A site. Herbs could potentially cut off the rotation if he starts to speed up a little bit. But he wants to go sneaky, he wants to go quiet, and he is going to make his way into apartments late.
Yeah, Jim is intrigued with that round. Sorry, I thought we were doing everything in third person.
Sorry.
Herbs now has to see if he can catch anybody napping, as that bomb has never been planted in that A bomb site. They're not aware of his position entirely, but Mizu's doing a good job of spotting out, but he's making a lot of noise. So already, Herbs knows where he is. He has that Molotov, he has that flash. He doesn't have a kit, but maybe he has the confidence of 2 frags already.
Well, he does have the info of exactly where Nikez is there. Oh, sorry, Mizu is in pit. If he did want to go for it, he should have done it just before. It's a bit too late, and he might actually... No, he's going to get away and not die to that bomb. But if he did go for it, Nikez was over towards the B side, he could have got that ninja.
Potentially, but didn't have a kit. So it was going to be a really, really clenching round. But here we have that collateral here from Raz. And I thought he was done for there, to be honest. Because normally, in that instance, you bait out the shot of the AWP, then you step on him, but they didn't seem to be focused on him at all, unfortunately, because he had that second player playing off him behind the wall. So some team play there didn't really save the skin on Raz, but he takes that AWP into the next round, and Order are really starting to stack on the rounds here at the moment too. So we said T-sides are really, I guess, in vogue right now, but there's still potential here for Avant to bring it back. The half is not won yet.
No, there is still many rounds. 5 rounds left.
Many.
I've done maths before, all right? You've got your English going on.
You did it so quickly too, I'm impressed.
Crazy. You know, I have an e-brain sometimes. Anyway, we are going to see Pex watching that smoke. You know, there has been a couple of smoke pushes today already in Melbourne Order, not looking like they're going to go for it this time. But the double stack in Dig, I like it. I like this play. The setup on the A site, looking like it should work well. Dan's going to be watching apartments, so their flank is covered for the moment. Melbourne Order going to be making a bit of noise. Bomb still down behind apartments there, but big smoke coming out from Dan. Should slow down the push for the moment. Still a minute remaining, so Melbourne can just wait this one out.
Melbourne Order have done a really good job of just slowly clearing everything out. What they're doing is restricting Avant from even making the pushes for information because they're just holding up. They're making them respect the fact that they're playing a structured T-side, and it's slowing the rounds down, but it's masking a lot of information from that CT side there as Sonic opens up B, but are they going to execute on it? Yes, they're going to make that call to go back towards the B bomb site. Avant have made, a choice here, a gamble, to just stack back towards A, and it's not going to pay off in this instance anyway because they're still showing presence of Boiler there, but this round potentially could lurk on the fact that, yeah, there we go, Nikes finding that frag there, just making it really, really difficult. He's that thorn in the side of Avant at this point in time, but he gets caught out there. Pex will survive, and Pex and Dans, it's a 3 versus 2, but I mean, Dans, there's not a lot he can do here.
No, he did make a bit of noise there, so they know exactly where he is. With only 20 HP, he may just hold for the moment. Pex has picked up that AWP, and he will be heading over towards CT. Dan's going to get the frag, and he's got a kit, but he's not going to go for it. Raz, quite low, is coming back, but that took more than 5 seconds. I feel like he could have stuck that if he went for it, but he's going to make the smart decision. Economy's probably not looking too good on Avant right now, so saving that AWP and the AK definitely going to help him out into the coming rounds.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing that long game. They're not necessarily looking to go for the risque rounds here, but this is that 2K from Sonic here to open up that B-bomb site, and it's eventually what won them the round, I guess, in that sense. But, I mean, that frag from Hazard there should have been capitalised on, and perhaps just showing a little bit of trigger discipline, just waiting for that second player to show himself, but not to be the case, as now Avant are really in the pits at the moment in terms of where they're going to sit in terms of winning rounds. They've got a good buy, but it's that slow, methodical pace from Order that's really starting to win things out. Now, they've taken a bit of a gamble again, just showing presence towards this B-bomb site. This is the first time that Order have really started to speed things up a little bit and take control earlier on in the piece.
Oh, Moe straight through the wall, teaming up with Herbs to take down Sonic there. We do have Raz with the AWP caught in the corner. Gonna have the teammates flash there to help him out, but it's not gonna be enough. Hazard finds another through the smoke, picking up the 2K without even needing to see Towski there. And there you go. It's looking like this round may be going in Avant's favour unless Mizu and Nikes can pull out something amazing.
It's the first time we've seen Avant really play with confidence on that CT side, and it's paid dividends for them now. Dance playing that frag, and this could be a nice clean round for Avant, and something they really need from a CT perspective because, as we said, the weaponry is quite expensive, and they haven't had a lot of success in stringing rounds together since the first 3. Yep. So from their perspective, they really need it. They really need this round, and if they can keep it clean, that is an absolute bonus for them.
Here we are, CT's just playing it, you know, with their brains. Letting that clock tick down, although Herbs did manage to catch off Nikes there, looking the wrong direction at the bottom of mid. We did see Hazard, you know, with the knife out, having a bit of a relax at Logs, just going, oh, my teammate's got this, you know, it's fine. Yeah,
I mean, in that particular instance too, I mean, you switch to some of these players and you'll be like, oh, what's he looking at? There's not really too much he's looking at. He's actually looking at his teammate's screen. They have the ability up there when they're sitting next to each other. This is an interesting talking point too in terms of seating orders and the way they actually work off one another. Someone will be holding the angle, and teammate, the ability that they have in this arena is the fact that they can see their teammate's screen. They can't do that online, so they hold different angles. They play each other a little bit differently on land than they do online. The crossfires are a little bit more effective. The step timing when they peak is a lot more effective. So if you do cycle through some of these players and just wonder what they're looking at, they're just looking at a wall. They're simply just waiting for some information from their teammate there to step on it, or they're looking for that, that play off each other's screen.
Land's a wonderful place, isn't it?
It is.
Beautiful.
We really spread your wings at a land, and this is going to be an interesting round because this one is going to explode quite quickly, I dare say.
It looks like Order are going to be staying as a pack once again. They're actually going to be smoking that, so I wonder if we are going to see a boost coming out. I don't know if that was a miss smoke. Looks like it may be a bit of a one-way. Raz trying to find the angle through that one, but Hazza hiding coffins for the moment, deciding whether he wants to re-smoke it. No rotates coming out from Avant just yet. Order should be able to take the site. Molotov coming out there. Hazard going to go massive, finding one onto Nikez, but Mizu gets the fast trade. Erb's hiding at Pylon. Can't really connect those bullets, although that bomb goes down. He will find himself a second. Now Mizu's stuck there. Going to be taken down. Huge hold by Erbs. Beautiful crosshair placement after a rough start to the hold.
Yeah, there was a nice headshot there from Hazard to open things up, but you could see there he wasn't really super comfortable in that position. Erbs cleaning up. So, I mean, that bomb site pairing is working quite well in that particular instance, but that was the first round that they were, I guess, pushed back into the site, and it actually worked for them as well. So I think the fact that they're not playing someone in that arch means that they're not smoked out, they're not disabled in the sense that like their crossfires are completely dismantled. It's not effective to play by yourself on that B-bomb site. That's the risk of playing in that arch, is that you can completely be smoked off from your teammate, and this is a faster pace here from Order. They're really switching things up.
Yeah, and I think it all comes back to Sonic pushing through that smoke and opening up the B site before Avant, watching those smokes, getting ready for those pushes. The little things that you don't expect to see at this level, catching each other off guard, that's going to start to be watched now. When you make those mistakes, when you're not ready, it definitely switches you on.
Order, just looking to see if anybody is going to present them with the opportunity to pick up another weapon to complement that has already got, or Raz, sorry, has already got, but Moe now under pressure here potentially. He needs to be careful. He looks for one, gets the second, gets the third, and his teammate finally comes to the rescue there. He actually did some damage to Raz in the collateral, but I mean, that AWP goes down. He's overrun there. The amount of times I've seen that snowball for a team, it could have spelt disaster, but he handled it quite well. He was very, very strong under pressure. Close
range with the AWP and managing to pull the CZ out in time to get another kill with it as well. That's impressive. The draw time on the CZ takes a while, right? That's right. And you can get caught out. The T's, they should have been playing a little bit closer together. They should have gotten that trade. It didn't come out, although a bit of a kerfuffle here at the top of Banana. Moe, is he going to be able to hold this time? No, he's not. Raz picking up his second for the round, and the B side is open for business. Bomb coming in hot, but Pex is already there. Coming around through construction. He will find one on the Raz. Bomb hasn't been planted just yet. Dan's going to be coming from CT, but we do see Sonic hiding at tree. Is he going to clear it? No. Too much confidence from Dan's there, and that is going to backfire on him, although Pex will bring it back to the 1v3. Going to be caught off guard as Towski lurks all the way through A site, coming in on the flank, and we are going to see Melbourne Order picking up the final round of the half. Yeah, it looks like the change in pace there from Order really working quite well. They went into that B-bomb site. Unfortunately, Pex was just flexing a little bit there. He was taken down. It was a power of position once again from Order there. I do like the way that they're playing that, but we are going to go to a quick break before we bring you the second half, so don't go anywhere. As Mac collects his notes here on the first half, that's becoming a bigger and bigger pile as we go through. I'm impressed to see you actually running down so much. No, they're actually stapled together. I just made it look like I was doing something. Yep. Anyway, we're going to get back into the second half here between Melbourne Order and Melbourne Avant. Both these two teams obviously vying for supremacy
of not just Melbourne, but in terms of what's going on in the server. Avant got off to a good start, but they really struggled in the middle stages of that half, didn't they?
Yeah, no, they definitely did. And, they finished it strong, and I'm sure going into the second half, the action in this pistol round is not going to be as massive as that first half. We were talking about that during the little break.
Is that a challenge? Are you challenging the players to go bigger?
Yes.
Well, Pex obliges as the faster approach here from Avant into that second mid area means that Mizu is caught out, and it just pushes everybody back into the A bomb site here. You can see the rotations coming off the B site, but they've actually put the brakes on for the moment.
We've had a player drop from the server. It's a 4v4 now.
There you go. We'll see how this one plays out. So, in terms of how things go from an Avant perspective, they might potentially to capitalise on that. But Towski with the two-piece. Raz finding another one as well. And Order do take that one. See how that one goes. I think there's a quick pause here. They might look to get the 5th player back in the server.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. That was a little bit unlucky, as we did see Avant get that first pick.
They did. They actually, completely took over the apartments there. Mizu fell. He was getting info, pushing into second mid. So, I mean, he got punished there in the first instance. We'll see what they do with that round, but I think they're going to go back into it and potentially replay it. Not too sure. We'll get word on that in a second. But they need to re-centre themselves here. That was a good chance for Avant to just get some initial confidence as well. Whilst the round, potentially might not count, but they showed that a change of pace really caught Order off guard here. So I might be keen to see how they play things out going on. Now, pistol rounds, they're super important. Super important in the way that they actually set the tone for the half. In your experience, have you ever seen a pistol round like the first round there that we saw from, I think it was Dan's?
Definitely seen them before. Not straight out of the gates, as much action as quickly as that.
Yeah,
maybe towards Banana, but second mid with that push, catching them all off guard. I think it was the first man, whoever was coming around the corner there, already pre-aiming towards mid, not expecting anyone to be there at all.
Yeah, it was super unexpected, wasn't it? It was, Spanish Inquisition level.
I jumped out of my seat, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, actually, that's the most animated I've seen you.
Yeah, well...
Other than the fact that when, Dares got presented on the desk, you were super animated about that too.
So did my co-workers when they found out that I was working here and it was sponsored by Dare.
I've been watching you. You've been siphoning them and putting them into your bag.
You call them my Esky a bag?
No.
Mate, you tell me
at the back.
You don't have Smoko with a bag. You have Smoko with an Esky.
Well, I've been on some interesting work sites, let me tell you that.
I've got it here.
You actually did bring it too.
I brought it. It's here.
Do you want to take a quick break, mate? Well, the players take a quick break. What's in there?
I got a hat. Oh, no,
okay, that's good.
It doesn't fit on top of my headset. The headset doubles the size of my head, which is already a large head.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'd fit, but it's here anyway.
Maybe some quick vision of that, because I don't know if that's going to be confiscated by you.
It not fitting on my head? I'll probably get yelled at from production to get it off the desk.
Yeah, these are expensive headsets. You don't want to be putting that on.
It'll look like I'm biased towards Avant, so it's a little bit rough. Anyway, the game is live once again.
Thankfully. Save a Mac. But from this perspective, obviously the round stands.
There you go.
But for Avant, it's important now that they try and potentially capitalise on some mistakes from Melbourne Order. Melbourne Order don't seem to be really too fussed on pushing the issue at all. They're not getting super aggressive. Sometimes you see confidence plays coming out from the CT side. I think the score lines may be a little bit too close for comfort for them, and they really just want to take things slowly and take things properly here, as we do see Avant just working their way through, staying closely grouped here. And it should all come to a head here on the B-bomb side.
Well, Sonic, opting for that UMP over the MP9. I once again disagree with that, but this flash going to blind him for the moment. He will fall back and stay alive just for a second. Nikez with the M4 going to be taken down. P250 of Moe going to be too strong there, and Pex finds Sonic as well. This bomb is down. It's planted. Herbs now has that M4, and Pex with the UMP.
And they found another frag too as well. So Moe, another frag for him, and... Look, they do have that M4. They're making it work. Now, I was worried because there wasn't an investment from Avant to that next level. They didn't buy armour in that round, but they did play it smart. And, look, if there was a duel there that went the way of Herbs and he had the first bullet land on him, he would have suffered from the aim punch, and it makes that M4 certainly much less effective, but that is a great way to draw your opponent's crosshair away from head height.
Away from anywhere. You know, it's almost like they knew. No, they came out of the gates, fired up. They were quite annoyed that they lost a player in that first round and lost the first round potentially because of it. So, you know, Avant saying, all right, you know, time to step it back up. We're going to win the old pistol round without armour, and now we've got a full buy.
There we go. And look, from Order's perspective, there is a buy into it. Obviously, Towski there with that UMP, the rest on pistols is an interesting play coming out in terms of the way that they're gambling here. They're actually putting numbers towards this A-bomb site early on in the piece, and Avant, they're just doing their due diligence and just clearing things out quite quickly, but not taking unnecessary risks. And it's important on that T side, when you do anti-eco, you don't get too separated here, and that is a good frag there for Dans as he finds one. More importantly, retains all of his health, but Avant just very, very methodical here. You can see they're paired up. They're not sending anyone in by themselves. And it's the way you play those anti-ecos to make sure that you don't have your opposition get the jump on you.
Look at that. That Molotov coming from the bottom of mid there, definitely forcing Raz out into the open. Fortunately for him, that smoke was there, so he could cross successfully. And Avant didn't take him down. Now Melbourne Order. They still have 4 alive, 3 of which are on the A site. And it looks like Avant may be walking into this. Yeah, Dan's here going to be throwing the one-way smoke out towards the haystack there. He should be able to get out onto the balcony and potentially make a pick into pit. He does have Mizu below him with the CZ, who we do see on screen for the moment. Dan's now using that smoke as a one-way, as mentioned. Mizu spots the head, goes for the shots, and now that information has been given up to Avant. Nikes with the Deagle, going to be flanked here, unaware that Moe was coming in behind him, will take him down, but the trade comes out from Pex, and now Sonic last alive over on the B site. This round is more than likely going to be going in Avant's favour.
Not a lot Sonic can do here as well, but I like that one way, actually. It allows him to see over the smoke as well, shielding him from anybody shooting him underneath. But, I mean, I've seen a few variations of that particular smoke, particularly out of Palace there. But that one, I actually haven't seen that one. For me, that's at least less commonly used. There's a more common one that just sits on the balcony and they actually look underneath it as opposed to looking over it.
Yep.
But Sonic here will actually take a gun away from Pex. Thankfully, it's nothing more than a UMP, but he won't retain it. And Avant are just doing a good job of slowly but surely grinding their way back into the game. They're narrowing that gap.
Yeah, we are going to have a pause coming out here.
Moe. UMP doing work. Pex doing work. And I mean, you bin the UMP over the Mac 10.
I still bin it. It's 1-1 round against pistols.
Yeah, why do you favour the Mac 10? Just for, I guess, everyone watching at home. Is it the fact that you don't really get punished for movement?
I just know the spray pattern, and the UMP's one, I'd never get dialed. It just goes crazy. I'm pretty sure it's just like, hey, pull down and then to the right slightly. But the Mac 10 is like down and to the right, and it's very progressive. It doesn't like jump around crazy. The accuracy at long range is obviously not the best, but the fire rate is great. And if you get close range, you can like the inaccuracy doesn't change that much while you're moving. Whereas with the UMP, you know, it got nerfed a couple of patches ago. So it was ever since then, I've just pick up the Mac 10 over it. I call it a dead gun.
Yeah, that UMP patch was a period of tyranny in the game, wasn't it? Because I mean, it was effective as a rifle in many instances, and that armor pen on that particular gun was actually ridiculous. Now, the spray pattern, unfortunately, now is as unpredictable as your wardrobe.
There are certain people that make it work. I just don't like it. You know, obviously at long range, it's a little bit different. It used to do a lot more damage over range, whereas now you have to be sort of mid to short range for it to be super effective. Mac 10, obviously, similar situation, but
it's nothing to do with your name, though, is it? Like Mac 10.
Almost 100% to do with my name, but I do like it. I do like being fast. It's like when back in the day. Here we go.
All right,
so everyone used to love the AWP. I used to love the Scout because you could jump around, and it's also you're very fast with it.
About movement. It's all about movement.
All about movement. All about the speed. All about positioning and being able to get into those positions faster while still having a gun out to do that damage. Definitely an effective little strategy.
Yep. I mean, I do like seeing other weapons that don't penalise movement as much. They're much better on those anti-eco rounds, as you can't afford to be caught with your knife out, you can't afford to be caught with your flash out. So having that MAC-10, having that MP9, guns like that really mean that people are prepared for every situation.
Yeah, there was actually a time when the MP7, even though it's SMG and you're supposed to run faster, have that little bit of an advantage, had slower movement than the AK. So there was almost no point in picking up that gun. I think it's been amended now, because I said that the other week on stream, and I was like, oh, now I don't know if that's true, and I checked. And
you're doubting yourself?
No, it's the same. It's the
second guessing yourself?
I am. Well, I'm second guessing myself because, patches come out all the time for Counter-Strike. I'm lying through my teeth. They're terrible. It's not Dota. We don't get a...
Just don't lie through your moustache. That's fine. But, guys, we're going to go throw it back to Luke on the analyst desk there to break down what we've seen so far.
Mac, never second-guess yourself. You're a beautiful human being, all right? Just back yourself, mate. We got this. Hey, we do apologise for technical stuff going on. We know it's slowing down the gameplay a bit. We're doing our best to get on top of it. But while we have a bit of a break, Sean, let's talk about what's happened so far in this match. It's not exactly how you predicted it going down, is it?
No, not exactly. It is quite tight. I think there's been a lot of back and forth rounds and a lot of plays coming out from players where, for instance, Sonic's play on some of that T-sided stuff, that aggressive B-side take he took, where he just pretty much walked in by himself and took the B-side, that's not something we normally see from Sonic. So watching him sort of take those risks and be rewarded is good, but it's definitely tight. I think this is going to go down to the wire as we see this play out. Now, I do have a round I want to bring up, I think round 17.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Yeah, this was that eco coming out from Avant. Now, this was incredibly important. They'd just lost the pistol round, right? And they've swapped over to their T side, which is where they're looking to mount their comeback, so to speak. Great flashes coming out there. Now, that shot from Moe on the Nikes opens up this bomb site. They get the bomb down instantly. They recover that gun. Instantly, Pex gets another kill onto Sonic, and it's a 3v5 situation. There was no buy going into this round from Avant. They don't have any armor. They had some upgraded pistols, but that was it. They end up going through, getting the bomb down, and completely turning this round on its head. Order go out without getting a single frag, and Avant are able to claw themselves back into this game off the back of losing the pistol. Now that, as far as a momentum changer and also a confidence builder for Avant, is crucial going into this T side. Now, Melbourne Order last week struggled on their CT side on this exact map.
Right.
So to win the pistol and then get broken the following round in such sensational fashion is going to be concerning.
Yeah, that is tough. That's tough to come back from. Hey, I think right now, I think we're going to cross over to Ash, who's having a chat to someone in the crowd. Ash, what's going on?
Hey, I'm here with Deb and Dave, and you guys obviously support Avant. Are you guys from Melbourne?
We're actually Sydney people, but the team's from Melbourne, so yeah.
And who do you support?
Hazza, our son.
Oh.
And he's been a CSGOer all the way through. He has an older brother that mentored him, and quick shout out to Curtis, his brother.
So this must be a massive deal because he's quite young. How old is he?
16 this year.
Did you ever think that he'd make a career out of playing CSGO?
Learning how good he was at it, yeah, for sure. We just watched him grow, so it was good. Yeah.
Do you guys play at all?
I'm a dedicated watcher. I'd be watching this on my TV through a laptop when everything goes right. I can have, I can have Dare coffee. I can have anything I like, and see this. I'm lucky enough to be here today in the studio, in the cinema, to be around everybody involved, and it's fantastic.
Oh, that's so nice. Do you have any last words that you want to say to your son? Wish him any luck, maybe?
Oh, go Haz.
Thanks so much for talking to me. Back to you, Luke.
How good's Dad getting some Dare sponsorship there?
Absolutely.
Just get around it, Dare. Are you seeing this? Dad's keen. He's backing you. Let's get him on board. Let's get him decked out, shirts, shorts, the whole lot, drinking Dare. I'm calling it. Hey, back over to you, Castle. Let's get back into it.
All right, let's get back into things here. We've obviously had a slight layoff there, but it's great to see, obviously, parental support out for our young gamers.
Right, I'm tearing up. I'm worried about my makeup. It's ridiculous.
This is not a problem you'd normally have at home, is it?
The pair of mums. No, shout out to all the parents out there, supporting the children in our community, including myself and Jimmy. It's hard to get it through to your parents that,
It still is.
That
it still is.
You know, you can make a little bit of money off gaming now, and it can potentially be a career if you get good enough.
Well, that's right. That's the battle that we've always fought as I guess, do we call ourselves the older generation now?
Mate, I'm fresh compared to you.
Well, okay, I'm gonna classify myself as a low Steam ID digit player.
Oh, there you go.
So if you've got a low Steam ID,
you've been around.
I guess you've been around the traps a little bit. But I mean, that's the battle that we've always fought as players of the game, players of just esports in general, is the fact that we've always had to try and showcase to figures of authority that this is something viable. But that's a challenge that now is made easier by the fact that things like this exist. And we're going to get back into the match here. Melbourne Order, as we said, just over Avant Gaming for the moment. But looking at the weaponry coming out from Order, is going to be a tall order for them.
Ha!
Yeah, I know, I'd get one in there. It's probably not my best, but I'm borderline.
I reckon during this series we're going to hear at least like 7 more of those in the next coming weeks. At least 7. Right, we'll keep track. Anyway, Moe will find one with that Mac-10. Beautiful weapon. But the trade does come out from Mizu here. Hazza. Looking to hold. Will get the frag there onto Mizu. And onto Chowski as they did get aggressive towards Banana. Raz whipping those shots. Peck's turning around. A little bit confused, but he does pick up that frag. And now, Melbourne Order last alive. Sonic is going to upgrade to the P250. Could do a bit more damage with that. And the bomb going to be escorted over towards the A site here. Pex with the UMP looking to get aggressive. Sonic going to get the better of him. May be able to pick up the better weapon. But Dance takes him down there with the CZ.
That was a difficult round to navigate. I saw you there, that Raz play in that A-bomb site, calling that with a stiff upper whiff. But it was difficult to digest in that sense that there was an opportunity there to capitalise on your position. Wasn't quite converted into a frag, but there was a good job from, I guess, Avant not to lose their cool when they were pushed on in Banana. They completely, as soon as they lost that first person, they just backed off completely, utilised the range of that AK as well, didn't want to get caught off guard, just power of numbers from Order, but now we can see, I guess, a less concerted approach from Avant as to taking that Banana early on. They do have some presence there, but they've actually managed to avoid, so far at least, a lot of the grenades coming through. There's not a lot for Order at this point in time to burn, so they don't want to burn it taking contest areas early on. They might need that for the retake. They might need that to just slow things up as the round goes on. So the more utility that they have in the bag, the more that they can slow things up. But early signs are not fantastic in that regard for Order. They're going to have to play some information game at some stage. But, I mean, they're very much turtled up in these bomb sites for now.
Yeah, anyway, better util is going to be traded through mid here. Peck slowly working his way towards Archers. So Raz will be watching it. Swinging wide, waiting for the smoke push, but it hasn't come out just yet. That bomb looking like it's going to be rotating down towards Banana. And we are going to see a boost coming out of New Box, although as I say that, they fall off, they give up. They second guess themselves, as I was earlier. Pex with an absolutely beautiful shot there with the white pick. Nikez holding. He'll pick up the double, but that Molotov will still burn him. The heat from it rising up and taking him down. Here we are, Moe finding one more and bringing it back to the 2v2. The bomb will be planted successfully over towards Oranges, and it looks like we are going to see a 2-man setup potentially come towards construction, as Moe looks like he wants to come and help out Pex, who whiffs, unfortunately for him. Kowski on the wide peak. We'll find one, but the trade comes out, and now Moe knows exactly where Mizu is as he starts to run around on site, taps the bomb. We go for the peak. Mizu ready, going for the spray, which didn't work for him last week, and it looks like it's not working for him again yet. 10-second defuse, no kit on Mizu, and we are going to see Avant picking up this round as Mizu gives up and heads over towards Banana.
Good round there from Avant's perspective. Obviously things are a little bit hairy there, but I mean, Nikez, he'd be disappointed with the way that he went down. He got 2 frags, and the Molotov was underneath him.
Yep.
But as you said, convection. But there's an opening frag there from Pex, just splitting the bomb site here, and he was able to get the 2 frags, but he's up high. How does that work?
Oh, he might. Did he die as he was falling off, or was he taking ticks of damage while he was up there?
I'd be interested to actually know, because I didn't hear any ticks of damage.
No.
And I actually wasn't keeping my eye on the HP, but...
and the HP on the replay wasn't actually there, so we couldn't spot it. Oh. So that was unlucky, but, you know, it is what it is, and we are going into the 21st round. We do see both teams mono 10 rounds apiece.
And Mizu's going to be the shining light for Order in this round because he has the keys. He has the AK. He has the, I guess, a little bit of utility to spare. The problem is, though, you generally want someone flashing him in rather than him being the enabler, him being the person with the utility per se. So, at least in that regard, a handy pop flash and something on a map like Inferno, you can really catch your opposition off guard here. But Mizu there, just shoulder peeking it, does find the opening frag here. Does take some damage, but more importantly stays alive here. And it's back to a 5 versus 4. Avant are doing a good job of just turtling up here at the top of mid and the choke points so they don't get caught out.
Raz making his way through the smoke. Will get the timing and pick up a frag onto Pex. Somehow surviving just for the moment. As we do see Herbs whiffing those bullets. You know, you can't see through the smoke, so he was unaware where Raz was. But he will survive for now. Raz hiding back in cubby. And we are brought back to a 3v3. This bomb was off on its own, but it will start to rotate over towards the A site, as will Nikez with that deagle. Through the smoke there, Raz. Doing a bit of damage, but somehow just surviving with 24 HP. Nikez trying to hold across the site, but this bomb will be planted successfully. Maybe the second time he goes for it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But this is still a dangerous round here for Avant until that grenade there bowling Shane. And I'm sick of people saying Kobe in Australia.
Kobe. Bowling.
Nice, Gary. Sonic has that AK, and we'll be looking to just maybe get some exit frags here. Unfortunately, Nikez is not with him, and I don't think timing's going to be with him either, as he does get taken down on the flank. So they will survive, I believe, with some weaponry, unless the Sonic can catch Hazard off guard. But I think he's actually going to be forced to exit down mid too. So a chance here, just to take a gun out of the economy.
He was ready. Sonic was. Hazard, on the other hand, on the wrong end of the stick. But we do see Avant taking the lead, 11 to 10.
Yeah, and this is a good fight back here now from Avant. And finally, the Melbourne Order economy allows them to buy into things. But, I mean, look at that run on the board there. You can see all those rounds starting to really pile up. I mean, the outliers there are the first and last round of each half for Melbourne Order after a really good middle stage of that first half. But now the momentum has entirely shifted. The economy is really starting to put pressure on Melbourne Order. They're feeling that pressure on that City side here. They've got a full buy coming out. A lot of pressure here on the banana early on in the piece. And the utility is just trying to siphon everybody down. But Herbs did not see Raz. Raz didn't see anything, but woke up with his haircut. And now will potentially look to find another frag there. Hazard can't, and they're just going to back off now, the CTs. But Towski's found a valuable frag on the other side of the map, so the pendulum still swings here.
Yeah, you love to see a bit of early pressure on the banana, don't you? Anyway, Pex here, looking to try to find something else. At second mid, just holding, waiting for any more aggression to come out. But with the 2-2 set up, Melbourne Order just going to be playing it passive and hoping that the hold will definitely help them out.
Avant just grouping up. Obviously that bomb in a position where it can transfer between either bomb site depending on where the frags go. Hazard just holding things down for them at B as they try and work a pick over towards the A bomb site. But CT's very, very much pushed back into the bomb site, pushed back into the arch. They're giving Avant free reign here at the moment, and I don't know if that's going to work out for this A bomb site hold.
They are going to be playing in the corners though. Towski making a bit of noise. He will give up the information. Does have 2 terrorists coming up. Ooh, diggity, but he will find a double there. Pexon has a falling to budget Liaz. Moe, though, going to be finding one on the Mizu, and in a 1v1 or 2 on the site, Towski's going to peek and find himself a 4K that round. Massive play there, massive hold from the Order draftee.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they spent too long in stasis here, as this is that shot from... Oh, that is filthy. Get a clean-up crew in banana, please.
Help me. It's been squished.
Mashed? Would you use the terminology mashed?
Mashed, mushed. Mashed banana, mashed banana. Yeah.
All right, let's get a wiggle on back into the game. As we do see Raz there. Now, he was key for them last week. He's going to be key for them in the rounds following. There is a slight technical issue at the moment, but, I mean, the concentration from him right now needs to be more razor sharp than ever because, as I said, he enabled them to get back into the T side last match. Now, both these two teams really struggled on that CT side, but this is where the pressure is on Order because they have to now start stringing rounds together on that CT side, which for them last week, as we said, wasn't particularly strong. So they need to really make sure that they've dotted their I's and crossed their T's here. And, yeah, look, it's tough out there.
I think Raz is a man that talks with his hands. He was trying to use sign language
So do I.
with a microphone then, rather than actually talking, you know. It may be effective, you know, but he's thrown the headset off. Oh, something's gone wrong there. A little bit disappointed. You know, tapping the forehead, making that brain work, giving it a kickstart.
I mean, do you know what? I'm slightly disappointed. This is a technical pause and they can't talk because this would be a great segment for bad lip reading.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw my hand up and do anything like that.
Mate, if I could read lips, I'd do it.
That's why you grow a moustache. You don't want anybody to read your lips.
No one can see what I'm saying.
Exactly.
It was never
Just
me.
a moving caterpillar.
That's it. You know, it is starting to wrap around the lip. I don't really like it, you know.
It's
But
persistence at this stage.
Yeah,
If you want to get a moustache like Luke Havoc, you're going to need to stay persistent. You're going to need to stay on course, make sure that you don't fall in the arms of temptation and cut that wild beast.
Yeah, you know, that's real commitment, Havoc. He's let it grow all the way down into his chest hairs. It's absolutely crazy. Marvellous to see.
It is marvellous to see it. I mean, we've got some talking points here. I mean, we've gone from shirts, we've gone to facial hair, we've gone to bicycles as well. And speaking of bicycles, we're going to cycle back to Luke.
Seamless stuff, Jim. Seamless stuff. Love it. Hey, look, this is tough, this kind of tech stuff, isn't it, Sean? We just saw the frustration in Raz's face just then. It must wear on the players, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. In a game like this as well, where it really is an arm wrestle.
Tight, isn't it?
Yeah. And on their CT side, they're really sort of struggling to sort of, I guess, hold it down. It was a good round coming out just then, obviously, to bring themselves back into this. But, it's definitely frustrating.
And this is where we haven't seen much tilting yet, I feel like, in the series so far, but this is where it must be hard for the players to stay in the zone, right, and not let it affect them.
Absolutely. And I mean, these guys are pros, though. They know what to do. They know when they're starting to feel that and how to bring it back together. I mean, a lot of it's going to come down to the in-game leader and team captain, making sure he's keeping his troops motivated and looking forward. I mean, poor Raz started that round getting AWP'd through the board there at top Nana, so that's always frustrating, and particularly because he just brought his own AWP to the play. But his teammates were able to get it done for him that round. He just makes sure he needs to keep it together, and the rest of the boys in that team need to keep it together because Avant are coming on this T side, and it's kind of playing out how I expected. So Avant, didn't do too well on their CT side, but come this T side, they're coming up strong and showing strong.
Why don't we have a look at round 20 right now, because that was a pretty crucial round, as I recall. Let's have a look at that. Talk us through what's happening here, Sean.
Okay, so round 20 there's not much middle control. It's quite a passive setup from Order here, so they're playing quite nervous. This is no AWP for Order, and we're watching Avant really try probe that mid control to try create an opening here. Now, as they make their way back towards the B side, it's really highlighting this passive play. Now, as we watch Pex here, this was actually a great play from Pex. He's managed to weasel his way into that CT spawn to cut off the rotate, hits that amazing shot on Raz. The amount of pressure now that comes out on this B bomb side is huge. Nickez is able to find that double kill. Sonic as well gets traded out, turns into a 2v2, but it's yet again, Avant Gaming were able to keep this contained, and once that bomb goes down, keep Order on the sidelines. Now, Order, for them though, this was a better round from what we've seen because they've been getting shut out. But yeah, great round there by Avant Gaming, really exploiting the middle part of the map and using Pex to find positions where he could weasel his way in and prevent the rotation.
Awesome, thanks for your insight, Sean. Well, we are back and ready to go with gameplay. So over to you, casters, let's get back into it.
Let's get back into it. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Sean. Obviously, we saw there Nickez through the fire and the flames, trying to bring his side back into it. They've got a very tall Order in front of them. I mean, the puns just roll so easily with that team. But
is that twice or three times today?
Use the same pun.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, you were in for a long season.
All right.
Very long season. But from Order's perspective, it's the first chance for them to get some momentum back. This is the first round that they've managed to string together since the pistol of this half. And it's important now that those two chickens, they've got no idea where they're going.
Is that?
And I've got no idea where I'm going with the segue. But it's important now that they string rounds together because on that CT side, you get punished so hard for inconsistency.
Yeah, look at that. Did they use? They used 3 nades over at Banana, leaving a little gap between throwing all of them. No one got tagged. So, you know, maybe they need to start to aim for logs there, although a bit of damage can be traded through the wall. Peck's down to 43 HP there. As they're 2 at the end of calves, trying to hold the hall, making sure that no one could go for that apps control. But Avant, you know, they don't need it. They're going to play in mid, although Peck's going to be tagged down to 15 HP. Will fall back from that Molotov, making sure he doesn't give up a free frag.
Yeah, that hall was unlocked, wasn't it? You're going to need more than a hall pass to get you through.
Oh, I'm so glad that you said that, because we're over at Banana now, nowhere near that pun. And
sorry, bent out of shape.
Sonic up on the ledge, hiding at garden. What, you got another one?
Because it's wash it down with a dare, mate.
Okay. All right, we're selling out just as Sonic wants to be, managing to pick up that frag, taking down Herbs as he was tagged up by the Molotov. Hazard wants to go for the peak, but he will show a bit of discipline and he will fall back. With that bomb, Moe, he's made his way all the way through Arches, has been spotted, but we do see Mizu hiding in a pit, and he will pick up that frag. Nikkei's going to find one of the Pecks still lurking at the top of Banana, which holds the rotate just for a moment. But Mizu hears the footsteps, makes the call, and the rotate will be coming into play. Melbourne Order going to have to play retake here. 4v2 situation. Order obviously with the man advantage. Hazard quite low with 13 HP, but it looks like the T's they're going to play 2 on site. As I say, that Hazard did try to cross the pit, but he left it a bit late. Sonic going to punish him for trying to cross there. Raz holding the angle. Dance falls, and Melbourne Order take the lead, 12-11.
Interesting celebration.
What was that yell? Who was that?
I'm not sure if it was a chicken or
was it
someone on the stage. But, again, another round for Melbourne Order here. So they put 2 on the board in a row, and maybe, just maybe, they can wrestle some of that momentum back from Avant. But the economy's good. They should be able to buy into this one here, Avant, and they should just shuffle that money along there. You can see, and maybe a different approach needs to be taken from them. I like them when they started to speed things up a little bit here, but I mean, Order are starting to do things a little bit differently in the sense that they're stacking numbers towards B earlier on. They're taking the gambles here. You can see case in point once again. They put 3 towards that B bomb site. That grenade.
Nade of the day, 100%. Look at that. Raz tagged down to 19 HP off that. Nikkei's 43 and Sonic 57. That's why you don't group up at the top. No.
I mean, grenades are rarely that effective, to be honest, because they can be a little bit inconsistent with the damage that they actually put out. But now, Dan's actually catches Mizu out here at the A bomb site, and that may be enough to get a rotate off the B. Not just yet, though. Dan's is doing his best to just try and keep the A defenders troubled. But this is where Nikkei makes the play. That flash, brilliant, but no capitalisation beyond the 1 frag. And now the information's been got. Raz can only get 1. He was quite low. He couldn't stay in the firing line for too long, and that bomb site is opened up. The plant will come in. I don't know if they're going to be able to go for this in the 2 versus 3 situation, but there is a lurk in second mid that is really nullified right now.
That being Dance, 9 HP. Coming a little bit too late. CT's looking to play this one together. Potentially are going to split onto site here. Towski going solo, although it looks like he may just hold for a moment. Waiting for Sonic to try to make a play, but Dan's coming in on the flank. Towski may be caught off guard here, and there you go. Moe's going to be taking down Sonic. Herbs onto Towski. We do see Avant bringing it back, keeping it close. 12 apiece.
That was a really risky play by that lurk in second mid. I'd argue that he was a little bit late to the party. Not fashionably either, but in terms of what Avant did, they did have some utility to try and slow things up a little bit, but Melbourne Order didn't wait for that. They just pushed on into the site, and thankfully the trades were made. But that could have got really hairy because it was still a 2 versus 2 in the site. It was anybody's round at that point, but a change in pace now from Avant as they do take control of the apartments here in second mid, and Herbs has been doing a good job of it so far. But Pex is straight out of the boiler room and into the waiting arms of Towski. And it's back to a 4 versus 3. But Herbs has been activated. He finds 1 frag here. 4 HP though. And they've got themselves onto his A bomb site, but there's still the 2 CTs lurking in brackets.
Oh, but Moe on the other side of this smoke is not going to be seen by the CTs. He's potentially going to get the flank here. There you go. Sonic falling. Perfect timing, although he's not going to be ready for there to be a second CT on apartments there, which will be Mizu, and he will wait for the rotate. Teammates grouping up with him, ready to go for the retake. They do have 2 kits. Nikkei's the only man without one. Pretty util to use. It's going to be flashing over towards Diggity, slowing down the push. Nikkei's fully blinded for the moment. Smoke coming out onto the Molotov, waiting for this one. Hazard spotting the jump, will get the frag. Nikkei's falling to Dan's as well. Now Raz last alive with the AWP is going to opt to save. He does get the frag onto Herbs, who tries to go for the hunt. But Avant, the 2 remaining players heading down mid, making sure they hold on to the AKs. And Order will have that AWP going into the 26th round.
Yeah, this is a real slugfest between these two teams at the moment. The pendulum keeps on swinging. The city economy, of course, is the victim in this instance because looking at what's coming out here from Order's perspective, they don't have a lot to work with in the coffers. So for them, it is danger zone. And the reason I say that is because they're going to allow their opposition to get closer and closer to that, that match point. And there's not a lot they can do about it. They've got Raz. Now, Raz could be key for them in that instance because he's got that AWP. Keen to see how they utilise him in this round. It looks like early on in the piece they've actually sent him towards Banana, but he's had his toes burnt.
Yeah, we are going to see Avant slowing it down, just waiting for the aggression to come out from Order, which we may see. They do have 4 P250s, no armour to play with. They're quite spread out. The only 2 that are close and ready for the trade are the CT players here.
I like what they're doing in that instance. They move Raz around, but more importantly, and as I say that, as I was about to make this point, I said they've got an insurance policy with him at all times in the sense that if that AWP goes down, he had someone with him to retrieve it, but that is not the case at the moment. So they moved him back towards that A-bomb site. They've got themselves sorted here in B for now, but I like the fact that they had people grouped up with the AWP and just tried to move things around. It was almost like that Pied Piper. That's not a great molly, by the way.
We saw that last week. Same thing. Same Molotov. Thrown car onto their teammate. I don't know what's going on there, but it seems to be
a car. It's a Go-Go Mobile.
Is it oh, sorry. I've never called it a Go-Go Mobile.
CS Go-Go Mobile.
Anyway, looks like Nikkei's is going to go his way onto Moe, take him down and find himself a weapon, although Raz did have the AWP to hold. Towski can't connect the bullets with those P2 50 bullets, and Hazard will find Mizu. A-site open for business. AWP going to be picked up by Nikkei as he makes a dangerous play, holds the cross too, which he didn't take the shot at Hazard. Now Dan's in pit. This round is definitely going to be going in favour of Avant. Melbourne Order just saving the AK and AWP, trying to help out the bank going into the following rounds, final couple of rounds of the map.
That music in Spawn was so calming. It was nice.
Can we go back?
Take me back. Look, that was actually a nice pickup from Nikkei.
There we go.
Because he manages to steal that AWP. And more importantly, we'll be able to save it into this round because you can see on the radar they're looking at that. There we go.
Smooth.
It is smooth.
Just like Dan.
You're getting good at this.
No, I did that last week. Exactly.
But,
as well.
I mean, you can't not be smooth with a moustache like that.
I try. I don't know. I got Jess in the crowd. She can tell you how smooth I am.
Next segment is I'm going to throw to Ash, but obviously Moe there. Now he's the key for Avant, and he's been steering that ship quite well in terms of what he offers for the team. Now this is crunch time for them. This is where it comes down to the fact that they've got their opposition on the ropes. Now when you've got your opposition on the ropes, you need to finish them. You need to finish them. They need to close this one out here because if they let Order get back into it, it can be a case where it spirals out of control. Now, I'm looking across at their economy. It's not entirely safe either. So they let Order get some rounds back on the board here, and potentially, the battle for Melbourne could be lost.
Yeah, it could slant back into, I was going to say Melbourne's favour, but, it wouldn't be inaccurate to say that. Into Order's favour, rather. We do have yet another technical pause, unfortunately.
We do, and I mean, you can see, I'm trying to catch your thoughts here right now, but we're going to catch the thoughts of both Luke and Sean.
Your throws are getting better and better, Jim. I just hope we have more tech pauses so you can do more of those. But look, it's tricky having so much technical stuff going, but I won't lie, the tension, the drama building is insane because of it. Like you can see in the players' faces, can't you, Sean?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this game is going down to the wire. My score prediction is looking pretty good, by the way, for Avant there, if they can close this out. So I'll be interested to see that. But this is sort of played out how I expected. I think Order's CT side isn't as strong as, I guess, Avant's was in that first half. So back and forth rounds going on here. That save is crucial. Keeping that AWP and I believe it was an M4 and AK. Going into this next round is going to be crucial. Order need to win this next round.
Yeah.
Otherwise, obviously, match point for Avant and money problems.
I think we're about to go. I've just heard in my ear. I think we're about to go. So back to you, casters. Let's bring it home.
certainly had plenty of time to practice my throws, and if I had any more time to practice, I'd probably be a pitcher.
Yeah, I'm happy you're not a player. You know, you shouldn't throw when you're a player.
No.
Bad manners.
No.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you've got a custard arm, though.
A custard arm.
Yeah. You're not that good at throws.
Oh, thanks.
We're back into the game here. As we said, this is getting to breaking point for either one of these teams. There can only be one winner here today, and obviously that winner will claim Melbourne. So, Moe, just looking to open things up again. Order playing a very respectful round at the moment. You can see in previous instances they put a lot of pressure on Banana early on. I mean, they've caught a lot of grenades, but early in this piece, they are not so confident here. They're just going to sit back, wait to see what Avant do, and hopefully they've got a better stock of utility this time, so they can really slow things down for Avant if they choose to execute early. But, I mean, as this round goes on, less and less they have in the pockets to try and stop that stemming tide of teas.
Yeah. Something I have noticed with Order is they're not really holding those crossfires on their CT side. They're sort of playing, you know, off angles together. Not really playing the bait and switch though, not enough cover and getting mollied out of their positions, so you know they are getting torn apart by Avant. But we will see if they can recover here. Raz with the AWP waiting for the peek, spots it. No re-peek from Hazard. Not yet anyway. Bit of a bait coming out there, over towards the pit. Towski hiding in the cutout as well, but the bomb is rotating all the way back to Banana now.
I like this from Avant. They've changed things up a little bit. They've pushed the tees back in the side. Dan's is here, and he's completely under the guise of that smoke, able to operate. He is able to find another frag here, and he's kept 2 players on this A bomb site, but he's doing a good job for his team. Finds a second frag, and that makes things really difficult now because the call has been made to go back to A. They secured the bomb site. They had everybody in Banana, but it is a brilliant read from Avant here, and Moe, well, actually
made the call.
Flipped the table.
Back into the B site. The rotate did start to come out, but Sonic is going to get the double spray down. Nico's finding one through the smoke, and Pex forced to Sonic as well. Avant essentially just handed that one to Order on a golden platter. The call from Moe, not going to be as effective as we thought it may have been.
And I know why. They looked at the clock. They had no time left.
Okay.
They made that call back to go back to A, but they didn't actually have the time to get there.
Okay.
So that is a great read from Order, in the fact that obviously they got into a bomb site, but there's no bomb there. So they've just gambled. They've just held that B bomb site and really put the acid back onto Avant, who had really no time to operate in that round. So they've been doing so well to this point, and you can see, as I said, their economy wasn't rock solid. It wasn't watertight. And they're now back on a very, very tough buy. Let's see if they can make it work. They do still have some rounds to work with here, but a lot of it is going to rest on the shoulders of Dance.
No one from Order actually deciding to pick up any SMGs, although straight through that Molotov. Sonic's going to find himself a double, not a third though. Pex with P250 getting that trade. Dance going to hold with the AK. It's going to be just enough to take down Nikes. Bit of damage from that Molotov. Raz ready for someone to be up on oranges. He's got the read and he's going to hit the shot. Early retake frag onto Dan's. Now in a 3v2 situation. Moe and Pex. Are they going to be able to find weapons, and are they going to be able to get aggressive and hold? Oh,
Moe's just looking for that AK. Eventually gets it. I mean, that is unfortunate for him. He found it earlier. He's out of that position, and he's been completely pushed out of it by the use of utility. It's been fantastic. But this is a winnable round here for Pex, and he just needs to play it right here, and he knows that someone's going to be peeking wide to shut down that play, and it's back to a 1v1. Raz now. Is he going to fake?
Oh, he's sticking it. He's sticking it.
Oh,
wallbang!
Oh!
Pex picked time. Getting the spray down. Absolutely massive round for Avant to take it to match point. You couldn't script that.
No. We tried, but we couldn't.
We tried.
And that is the unpredictable nature of Counter-Strike. And Melbourne Order, it looked like it was going to be a successful round for them. And that one is just completely snatched away by Avant there. Great play. I mean, I thought when Moe was Grand out of his position, was Molotov out, it was going to be disaster for Avant. That retake looked like it was on, but crucial moments, big moments demand big plays.
Yeah, well that's it, you know. Great use of utility on the retake. Unfortunately, Pex was too massive there. The man, I feel like that could be play of the day.
Impeccable from Pex.
Impeccable, exactly. I'll go with you on that one. That was beautiful. But you know, last week didn't show up. This week, different story.
It's a different story. I mean, that's what we talk about when we talk about growing into this environment. The stage up here is a little bit different to anything that they've experienced in the sense that it's a different layout. You know, the crowd from up there looks completely different. They're obviously, you know, all eyes are trained on them in the way that they play. And obviously, you know, we've got a fantastic crowd here to play in front of. But that has an effect on people. I mean, I can hear them sometimes laughing at the jokes. That's how I know that they're still here.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's just dead silence, so deadpan. But Peck's there, as you said, this week, completely different. Completely different player, obviously playing a vital role for Avant. Avant have looked much more comfortable on their T side at the moment too. They're a very, very well-drilled unit in the sense you could see that they're, in the early instances, using their utility, using their map position to put order back into the bomb sites. But that's taking up a lot of time. A lot of time.
Yeah, well, you know, and, you know, as that other round happened when Moe made the call to go back to the B site as the clock was ticking down. Like Moe, I didn't actually look at the clock. I was too enthralled by what was actually happening on my screen. Thinking that the double fake was going to happen. Anyway, second last round of regulation time is live. The pause has ended. And we are going to see a 1-4 setup. 4 men from Melbourne Order over on the A site looking to hold.
Look at that one rifle on Sonic. Now, he doesn't have a whole heap of utility to slow things down here, but Moe's going super hyper-aggressive. Catches out Raz. Now he's caught with a smoke out there. Hex opens up as well, so things already off the get-go are not looking good for Avant, but that P90 just provides a glimmer of hope for Order. And they're caught in stasis at the moment. Has a great frag. And Rotate's been caught. It's just one now. Nickez, they know where he is. They're not going to go there with the bomb. And Nickez is going to have to take the aggression here. He does take down one, so it's still a potential danger here if he can find that frag onto Pex. He's got the AK now, and Pex is just going to try and slow him down.
Looks like Pex is reading this so well, takes him down and gets the W for Avant. Beautifully played in the end. The dry peek at mid, coming out from Moe, opening up that round, and Mizu doing the same thing towards Diggity. Just worked for them.
Yeah, and that's confidence, that's experience, and that is a play that you know, you wouldn't necessarily expect to at a key point in the game. If you're a player like Raz, having someone push you with an orb while you're throwing a smoke 10, 15 seconds into the round, you're not going to expect that. I mean, he's going to certainly look back on that as, you know, a questionable play, but it worked. It won the round. It was an opening for them, and, you know, just like a house of cards, the defense fell.
I like that one. Anyway, you know, I got my pick wrong, so I'm a little tilted. Everyone else got their pick right, so, you know, that's unfortunate for me. But, you know,
could be worse. You could be Kevin.
It was a great game. There were many plays in that. Huge plays. Good to watch. Great CS.
There we go. And look, fantastic match between these two teams. Obviously, the battle for Melbourne, the Melbourne Derby. But let's throw it back to Luke and Sean to break it down.
Well, we will break it down in just a sec. We're going to go to break first, but huge first match there. Huge second match of the day, rather. Melbourne Avant Gaming coming out just too strong for Melbourne Order. We're going to get into game analysis in just a sec. We'll be back after this.